This map shows the Malacca Strait. It is one of the busiest maritime bottlenecks in global trade, funneling trillions of dollars worth of cargo between the Indian and Pacific Oceans every year. Right at the western edge of this funnel sits Great Nicobar Island. Currently, it is a remote, densely forested speck of land. Ships carrying the world's physical economy pass quietly in the distance, leaving the island largely isolated from the trade routes at borders. For the Indian government, sitting that close to a lucrative trade artery presents a geographical opportunity they are deciding to act on. The government's answer is a $10 billion mega project, officially titled the Holistic Development of Great Nicobar Island, designed to transform it into a global shipping hub. This is the official layout. The plan rests on 4 pillars: a transshipment terminal, an airport, a power plant, and a commercial township. To operate this, the government plans a 4,000% population increase, moving 350,000 new residents onto the island. Officials brand this as a strategic leap forward, a logistics hub designed to rival the economic power of Singapore. But building a logistics hub on a map differs from building it in reality. We have to ask, does optimizing for global trade blind planners to the physical and ecological limits of the island itself? Making room for this infrastructure means clearing 130 square kilometers of primary tropical rainforest. Current estimates suggest up to 10 million individual trees will be cut down. The centerpiece of the project, the transshipment port, is slated for a specific location on the island's southern coast, Galathea Bay. Galathea Bay serves as one of the most vital nesting grounds in the Indian Ocean for the vulnerable leatherback sea turtle. To permit a port of this size, the government had to strip the bay of its protected status, explicitly de-notifying it as a wildlife sanctuary so construction could proceed. While the official blueprints use the label green infrastructure, the process on the ground requires the active, legal dismantling of a globally recognized UNESCO biosphere reserve. Great Nicobar is also inhabited by indigenous communities. It is home to the Nicobarese people and the Shampen, an isolated tribal group that maintains minimal contact with the outside world. Indian law includes the Forest Rights Act, a mechanism designed specifically to protect indigenous land ownership. Yet anthropologists and experts report that this megaproject is bypassing those legal safeguards. Tribal council chiefs state they are being pressured by the local administration to sign surrender certificates for their ancestral lands on the island's west coast. These are the exact lands they were forced to evacuate following the devastation of the 2004 tsunami. The logistical success of this port relies on the displacement of the island's original inhabitants and the suspension of their legal rights. Even if the surface of the island is cleared, the geology underneath remains hostile. Unlike stable ports like Singapore, Great Nicobar sits directly over a highly volatile seismic zone where tectonic plates are actively colliding. A technical report from the Indian Institute of Technology warns that this specific subduction zone has a predictable history of generating mega-earthquakes. The geology here operates in a hazardous cycle, decades of gradual land uplift as tectonic strain builds, followed by a catastrophic dropping of the land when the fault finally slips. We have recent proof of this subsidence. During the 2004 megathrust earthquake, sections of the Great Nicobar region permanently sank 3 to 4 meters into the ocean. Engineering a permanent $10 billion concrete city on top of an active fault line that drops into the sea ignores basic geological reality. Even if we set aside the ecological devastation and the tectonic risk, we still have to test the project's primary justification: economic dominance. Great Nicobar faces a severe hinterland problem. Successful hubs need connected domestic markets, but this island is isolated, 1,000 kilometers from the mainland without rail networks. It also faces immediate competition from a planned port in Sabang, Indonesia, directly competing for the same traffic. India has attempted to build major transshipment terminals before, in places like Kochi and Thiruvananthapuram. Many of those projects struggled because of identical issues with draft limitations and poor domestic connectivity. Looking at the historical data and the local geography, the Great Nicobar Project reveals itself to be a speculative and unproven economic risk. Despite extensive documentation from geologists, economists, and indigenous rights experts, India's National Green Tribunal officially cleared the project to proceed. The The tribunal justified the clearance by pointing to adequate safeguards. Those safeguards rely on unproven proposals, like physically digging up and translocating entire coral reefs and delicate sea turtle habitats away from the construction zone. On the global stage, India's leadership champions green development and climate action. On the ground, the government is moving to bulldoze an ancient rainforest. In the rush for geopolitical dominance, billions of dollars are being committed to erase a rare ecosystem and displace its indigenous communities, all to build a port on a sinking fault line.